Hey, so I thought I'd do an update, and it's actually 4:20 a.m. Well, actually, this isn't an update really. It's I got sick of waiting for the gas, the 600A gas to come, and my fridge has been very poorly for a long time. So I've got a series of 3D printed couplers, which is that thing there, and it's gas tight. I've got my universal, I need the light on it. I've got my universal piercing valve on there, and I've sealed it up with blue plastic on both sides to make sure there's no leaks. Now, here's something I have not seen. As long as I've had this freezer, I have never ever seen the pipe at the back go white. It's actually gone white with frost. Oh, yay! It's actually working even better than it did before. See, when I got the fridge, it was my dad's. Now look at this. This is the incoming pipe. There's frigging ice on the incoming pipe, look. I'm scraping the ice off with my finger, look. Look at that. That is frigging cool. And that's what it wants to be. You see, the incoming pipe, because it's coming in cold, it cools the compressor down. And that's why I've got this fan here, this fan, which I can now turn off. I can now turn it off because it's going to get cooled properly now, because the compressor is getting cool gas coming in, which is going to cool the compressor down. And my setup is well, actually I've disconnected, I've closed the valve on here at the moment, so the pressure on the compressor on the incoming, I'll just open the valve a minute. I'll just turn the Allen key. Hang on. It's tight. Oh, I made it tight. Now the gas is going in. Oh, you can't see it. We've actually got equilibrium at about 0 pounds. Oh, it's actually 2. It's about 2 actually. PSI on the low side, which is great. I mean, the pipe, look at the pipe, it's freezing. So it's definitely working. So the butane, I'm just using butane because it's pretty almost identical to R600A. There's not a lot of difference. I was talking to a guy who worked as a scientist type guy. He was a teacher and chemist, and I searched the internet as well. I said, I want to make sure that this stuff's not going to blow me up. And he said, no, it's virtually the same stuff. It's just the only difference is that isobutane is has got no additives, no smell. You know, you can smell this stuff because it's got a scent in it. That's the only difference, really. It's an inversion, apparently. It's a chemical inversion of isobutane, but it's not much different, and it's working really well, actually. Working very well. I need to add a bit more gas, actually. Just give me a second. I have to squeeze the valve here. It's a bit difficult to do this with one hand. I'll watch the meter. Oh, I haven't got the valve open far enough. Open the valve a bit more. Right, I got my valve a bit. I need to put a bit more in. It needs to be about 5 psi, and it's bleeding through slowly. It actually dropped. I had it set at 5 psi, but it crawled back up down again. So I'm just adding a bit at a time, you see. My torch isn't not a good place. Just a minute. That's better. Right, so I'm adding a bit more gas. I have a vacuum in this bottle. This bottle here, I created that a few years ago. It's been well tested on my water, reverse osmosis. I used to use it to store water in before I got my big water tank, and it can hold a vacuum. It can also hold pressure. I've had up to 30 psi in it. Just a bit more gas. I need to be at 5 psi, but it keeps dropping because the system's taking it all up. This is a one-way valve, by the way. This thing here is a one-way valve. So when I squirt the gas in here, I can disconnect the can without it squirting out, because it's actually a water valve, but it works perfect with gas as well. So what I do with the system is I pull a vacuum on all of these pipes with the bottle, which I evacuate in the other room because I'm using a compressor pump vacuum thing, and the motor sparks. So I didn't want that thing near these near all this gas. So what I did was I took the bottle into the other room, which is that blue green thing there, and I evacuated it, and I made a vacuum in it. Then I just used the bottle to evacuate my pipes before I actually put gas in them, which is what I did earlier. And this valve stops air getting in. Right, this is what I've been doing for 4 hours, because it's supposed to be about 5 psi, and as you can see, the system's eating it up, because I'm on the intake side, which means the compressor is sucking on this side. That's why the pressure drops, because it sucks it up. Let's have a look at the pipe. Oh, look at that, it's frosting over again. Oh yeah, the compressor's going to be cooling alright now. So I'm using a torch because I'm behind the fridge, and oh, it's hot. Actually it's quite hot. I'm going to put the fan on for now. I'm going to leave the fan on until I get this system completely sorted, but it is definitely cooling and better now. That pipe has never frosted over like that before, so I'm going to have some pretty chilled milk now. My milk is going to be nice and frosty. The temperature on the outside of the fridge, which is the exchanger, the heat exchange. Oh, let me get up because I can't get up. Right, I've got my temperature thing in my jig. Right, the temperature on the outside, which is the where it gets rid of the heat, is pretty toasty. It's 60 Celsius on the outside wall, because this is where the heat is got rid of on the outside. Where are we? 64. We're about 65 on the outside. You see, nothing to worry about. It says on this thing here, it says on this little focus, it says both sides side of the refrigerator may be sometimes getting warm or hot, particularly just after the installation. Well, technically I've just switched the damn thing back on a few hours ago, so the fridge is not this fridge. I think this is Chinese. Not a fault in this case. The heat is due to cluster pipe. The water condensation may form on it. Like, it goes cold actually. This outside cover actually goes cold when the compressor stops. So let's see what the inside of the fridge is like. Let's see what my milk is at. Right, my milk is at oh, look at that. My milk is at 10 Celsius. That's good. Right, the freezer. This is the fridge compartment. It's jumping around now. We're on the vent. I'm pointing at the air vent that blows cold air from the fridge down below. It's 3 Celsius. We'll point it at something stable. These takeaway pot things are about 8 Celsius. That bottle of kind of water at the back's 2.8 Celsius. Let's go to the freezer compartment. Fridge department. Let's look at the ice cubes. Ice cubes are at minus 2.1. let's go in here and have a look at the temperature in here. Minus 9.8 in that compartment. Let's look at this one. Minus 12 in that compartment. Bottom one, that's a brick, so it's going to be lagging. Minus 3.3. That brick will take ages to freeze. Right, so it's working a lot better. Yeah, I'm quite happy. Yeah, I can feel the heat off that panel when I walk past it. That's normal actually, because I've always felt that heat when it was working properly. So let's see, gas is about 0, so it's actually equilibrium at the moment. I'm glad it's not going to minus anymore. Let's put a bit more in. I'm just going to hold it on for a minute and let some gas through. This container is nearly empty actually. I must have used about 250 ml. Let go. And put some more in. It's supposed to stop at about 5 from all the stuff I've seen on the internet. I don't want to put too much gas in obviously, but the way to check the pressure is when the compressor stops, it climbs back up again. Right, yeah, let's look at that pipe. Oh look, the pipe, it's thawing now, look. That's interesting. Look, that pipe, it's thawing. Oh, it must be doing a defrost on itself. That's interesting. That pipe that was all frosted over, it's now thawing, look. That's curious. It's dripping, there's water dripping off the back. Don't know if you can see that. Yeah, I think I put enough gas in for now. I'm going to close this valve. I'll check it in about, I'll probably leave it now and check it tomorrow. I need to put the phone down a minute. I've got to grab that pipe a sec. Hang on. It's easier to hold the pipe than tighten it because I don't want to stress the pipe. Right, so I've tightened that up. I'm going to see how it goes. I'm going to just unplug this. It won't squirt out because this is a valve. Nah, there wasn't anything in it anyway. That's because I haven't turned that tap off. I'll show you what I mean. Hang on a sec. Put that on my foot a minute. That valve is frozen now. On me. Just a minute. Right. So. Right. So when I put the gas on there and I pressurise it, you won't see the needle move because I've closed the valve here. Right. I put pressure in there. So when I release it, it spits, and there's pressure in this pipe still. So yeah. So if I open that valve now, this gauge will go up, but I've closed the valve on the input. The input to the fridge is closed off right now, but I could open this valve and you'll see the meter move. If I can do it with one hand, it's a bit tricky. I'm trying to do it without bending the pipes. Oh, it's difficult to do it with one hand. Let me just see if I'm going to stick this on my knee a minute. That's not going to work. Hang on, I'll try and hold it this way. Right, watch the meter when I open this valve a bit. I'm just going to put my finger on here and hold it. There we go. So we've got pressure in that pipe now. I'm not pressing any buttons. Where's my... go on the other side. Right, so I can close the valve again now, I think. Hang on. Right, It's awkward. I have to use two hands. It's a bit stiff. This. It doesn't like gas. It's really for water, you see. But it works. Right. Anyway, kettle. Oh my god, this can's nearly empty. The fridge used a lot, but I'm quite chuffed with that's working. Let me just check the temperature of this pipe. Oh, it's very cold. It's extremely cold still. It's not iced over now, but it's still very cold. And that one, oh, it's frigging hot. The output one is bloody hot. So that's what it's supposed to be. Yeah, and the reason I leave a bit of pressure in the pipe when I turn that tap off, it's to stop any air getting in. It's to keep it pressurized, so that when I come back I can see that there's a positive pressure on it. And I need to keep this pipe, all this pipe to the gas input pressurized to prevent any air getting in. So that's why I'm leaving it with some pressure on there, even though the tap to the actual compressor is now turned off, so there's nothing getting in or out of the compressor right now. But I like to leave it like that with it. It's better than taking it off, putting it on, taking it off, because you introduce problems with coupling and that, and possible leaks. So I'll leave it like that overnight, because then tomorrow when I come and see it, I can check it and make sure it's not lost the gas, you see. So, little update. So I haven't been making much video lately on my project, my magnetic motor, because it's this fridge. I've been babysitting the damn thing. I'm glad I got it fixed though. I'm going to have my coffee now with cold milk. It makes my coffee a bit colder though, but at least it's not sour. So that's it really for now. As I say, the proper gas there, the postman screwed up a bit. They actually, I'll check this temperature again on the outside wall. The postman messed up. My daughter got it for me from Amazon, and he said it was going to be delivered on the 10th, and the silly buggers tried to deliver it on the 9th when I was having a sleep. So what's the point in saying Amazon delivery date between the 10th and the 13th? Ah, right, but they tried to deliver it on the 9th, and then they take it back to the depot and they don't even arrange a redelivery automatically, even though they're screwed up because they were supposed to deliver it on the 10th, not the 9th. So now I can't get my gas until Monday. So the proper gas, I mean, you know, isobutane, R600A. And I've been spending all week preparing and doing this as safely as possible, which is why I use that bottle. I use that bottle for my vacuum there, so that I don't have any electrical compressors or sparks or anything like that near the gas, you see. And by having the bottle vacuumed in the other room, I bring it in here to suck out the air out of the pipe. That way I'm safe, and there's no source of ignition, and the fan that's running it's what do you call it, a brushless motor. It's got no spark, no brushes on it or anything, so that's perfectly safe. And obviously I've got no sources of ignition in this kitchen while I'm doing this. And that's the only thing you really got to observe is just don't have any sparks or anything that makes sparks when you're doing this, and make sure you've got no frigging leaks. That's really important because butane is very flammable. As long as it's done right, there's still a vacuum in that bowl, so if I had a problem, if at any point I had a problem, all I have to do is open the valve on the bottle and it will suck all that gas out of the pipe system into the bottle and prevent anything. So if let's say there was this something happened and I sprung a leak and there was flames shooting everywhere, I'd open the bottle, it would suck all that gas into the bottle, and voila, no more flame. That's just a safety thing, really. Yeah. Right, so that's it. Anyway, I'm gonna go and drink my coffee. I've been trying to think about all the possible things I can do for safety, you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm gonna end the stream and I can get in the other room and get my cup on the table. Anyway, thanks for watching. Oh yeah, I'll put the other light on. Hang on a minute. Might as well mention. I'm winding the second drive coil for my generator at the moment. It's on there. I've already wound one. I've got one more to wind, but because the fridge has been taking up all my time, I haven't got very far with it. But yeah, I only need one more of these coils after I've wound that one, and then I can start going on with my generator project again and get the put it all back together again and get it wired up. Hopefully the fridge will be all sorted now. I'm hoping. Oh, but I managed to get a hold of a fan out of an old microwave, and I'm thinking about installing this in my freezer. Oops, if I can spin it with my finger. Ah, my fingers are catching on the blades. Oh, I'll just stick it on there. So yeah, it's a good motor. It looks like it came out of a new microwave. It's in good nick. It's in good shape. It looks brand new. It's a shame that somebody blew it up. I mean, the magnetron was blown up. I mean, it looks brand new, this thing. There's no grease on it. I did wash it lightly because there was some flies on it because somebody had left it outside and some insects were on it. But apart from that, it's spotless. I mean, yeah. I mean, the fan, it didn't need cleaning. It was just a few. I mean, this looks brand new. Somebody blew up a brand new microwave. I just don't believe it. I mean, people just don't have any respect for anything these days. I tested it on my inverter. It works. I plugged it into my inverter, which is across the room. Oh, you can't see it really. So I didn't want to connect it to the mains because it was a bit damp. So I connected it to my inverter instead, which is 220 volts output, and it works great. So quite as a bell. So I was thinking about installing this on my freezer at the back to cool things down, because it'll be safe because it's brushless as well. It's brushless. It's got no. It's one of them synchronous motors. Anyway, yeah, I'm definitely going now. Thanks, bye.